Okay, I'm going to show you on this guy how to use the pulse width trigger. So what I have going here is I have a pulse showing. This pulse is 100 microseconds wide, but ever so often there's a narrower pulse. I'm going to use pulse triggering to detect that. So to do that, go back to trigger, change my trigger type here to pulse width, and say we want to trigger on channel 1. We want a positive pulse width here, so it's a positive going pulse, and I want a pulse that's narrower than some setting. And then that setting, it's defaulted here to 30 nanoseconds. My normal pulse width was 100 microseconds, so it's something below 100 microseconds. I'm going to set it to like 5. I happen to know it's 1 microsecond, but you know, you set that to anything. So right now it should be triggering, but what's going on here? So the first thing to check is always your level. So this level is set right? It's halfway between it. What's happening is you have to remember the trigger mode. If I hit single here, it should hopefully just trigger on a single pulse, right? So what I need to do is in run mode, it's not displaying because it's using auto trigger mode still. So what that means is it's continuously triggering on, if it doesn't see the trigger, it just continuously triggers. So this mode coupling button up here, change this mode coupling to normal, and then it's only going to trigger when it sees a trigger event. So this can be annoying because if your trigger is wrong, if I move this level high, just move it off the screen, it doesn't trigger at all, right? Because it's just waiting for a trigger, so that's why people don't use it normally. At the top, you can see it's blinking triggered. So on this scope, it has a force trigger button you can use to take a quick snapshot. But yeah, so that's the usage of the pulse width trigger on this guy. And you can see I needed it. And a little hack here I just did is if you press this trigger button, it moves it to halfway down the screen, which is often really handy. You know, you could see I was like slowly moving it. So you just press that and it goes to halfway. But yeah, so there's our pulse trigger. And if we zoom out, what you'll see is that there's a bunch of wider pulses around it, around this one narrow pulse.